welcome once again to KKY Mathematics Clinic. I'm happy to have you in class today. Wow, and today we'll be looking at bearings and distances. Such an interesting topic. You know, the easiest way to think of bearing is to see it as a description. For instance, if you say, "Oh, I want to visit you at home," and I say, "Okay, you can visit me," and then you say, "Oh, I don't know your house," and I say, "Okay, once you get to Ace Supermarket, this is Ace Supermarket," and I say, "Okay, once you get to Ace Supermarket, uh, just look opposite Ace Supermarket. You see my house there, right there, opposite Ace Supermarket." You said, "Okay." Now, what I've just done is I've described the location of my house using a supermarket as a landmark. So that is what is involved in bearings. All we do in bearings is to describe the location of one point using one or more other points. So I am describing the location of this point using this or using this one point or more than one point. That's what bearing is all about. So you're going to find the topic very interesting. The first thing we're going to learn now, which is why we have that little diagram on the screen, the first thing we're going to learn to understand bearing appropriately is the four cardinal points. The four cardinal points. So here we have this is the north. North is always upward. This is the north. This is the south. This is the west. And this is the east. Very easy to remember. The north is upward, south downward, west to the left. You can see they sound alike: west, left, and then the east to the right. And of course, this already should make you see that in this region we have this is the this is the northeast region, and this is the southeast region. This is the southwest region, and this is the northwest region. Now, if you look at this very well, I did not write east south. No, there's nothing like that here, because we only read from the north or the south for our compass bearing. Compass bearing is read from the north or the south. But for three-figure bearing is read from the north only. So this is basically the first thing you need to know. But I want to show you something else that you need to know in order to understand bearing appropriately. Okay. Now, like I said, for three-figure bearing is measured just from the north only from the north. It's not measured from anywhere else, from the north, and you have to do it in a clockwise direction. That means you cannot go anti-clockwise. You can only move the way your clock moves, like from 12 to 1 to 2. So you can only move clockwise. Now, if you move clockwise from the north and you end at the north, you would have a circle. And the sum of angles in a circle is what? 360 degrees. Now, that should tell you something. When you move from the north, by the time you get to the east, you would have moved 90 degrees. And then you get to the south, you would have moved 180 degrees. To the west, 270 degrees. And then back to the north, you would have moved 360 degrees. This is 270. That's 360 degrees. Now, this I would like to call each of those points, each of our four cardinal points, I would like to call them bus stops. There are some bus stops. So if I start from the north and I get to the first bus stop, I would have covered 90 degrees. The second bus stop, 180 degrees. The third one, which is the west, 270 degrees. And then back to the north, we have well, 360 degrees. So now, if I were to be given Now it's very important you take note of these values at this point. Now, if I were to be given a question and I'm told that the bearing of a point from another one is 50 degrees, I already know that this is the region where my 50 degrees is, between the starting point and 90 degrees. So this is where I will draw my line. If I'm told that the bearing of somewhere from another place is 235 degrees, 235 is between 180 and 270 degrees. So this is where I will draw my line. If it's, say, 110 degrees, it will be here, right? If it's, say, 300 degrees or 303 degrees, it will be in this region because this is between 270 to 360. Okay, so this is what I would like you to do to be sure that you understood this part. I want you to look at this very well and identify the angles between each region. That means from the north to the east, I have 0 degrees to 90 degrees. From the east to the south, I have 90 to 180. From the south to the west, 90 degrees to 270 degrees. From the west back to the north, 270 to 360 degrees. If you understand this, wow, you're well on your way to understanding everything about bearings because these are the basics. I want to see you in the next class. That means watching the next video. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel. Thank you. Bye.